super excited to be talking about this Ducati motorcycle. This is Ducati's first take on a single cylinder road-going supermoto that you can buy out the box from dealership, and everyone is extremely ecstatic about the bike. We're talking about 77.5 horsepower at 9,750 RPMs, 46.5 Newton meters of torque at 8,000 RPM. Semi-wet weight for this bike is going to be 330 pounds. And the reason I'm saying semi, fluids are going to be in the bike somewhat, except gas. So 333 pounds, meaning you have your oils in there. It's definitely a lightweight bike, comparable to your gas, to your Husqvarna 701, KTM 690 SMCR Supermoto. I mean, this is going to be the realm we're going to be comparing this bike in, and I'm super excited. Having a bike like the Quadlock 690 out available on the market breeds competition amongst all these brands. And to be fair, the Husqvarna 701, the KTM 690 SMCR, the gas, they are all the exact same motorcycle with different livery and different branding. So it's very exciting to see somebody like Ducati coming into the realm and bring some excitement into this market. And we all love supermotos. It's going to be nice to go out and buy a bike that you don't have to swap out and get yourself the supermoto wheels, turn signals, headlights, and everything else. I love this concept, the fact that you can just go and buy this motorcycle and be ready and enjoy yourself. This is not to say that all of this is not going to come at a cost, and we all know Ducati always come at a premium cost, guys. The RVE model that I'm looking at is going to be starting at $14,495. But if you're looking to get the standard supermoto without the quick shifter and the graffiti livery, you're going to be looking at way less to spend. I don't have the figures in front of me, which I'll probably pop up on the screen. However, that's not the one I'm looking to purchase. So take a look at the site if you want to take a look, if you just want an entry price point. Let's talk meat and potatoes and what makes this bike special, guys. This engine itself derives from a 1299 Panigale Super Quadro engine. This is what makes this super exciting. They split down that 1299 engine into a single cylinder that's going to give you a lot of revving power. It's going to give you a higher overhead for you to hit the limiter, unlike some of the competitors that are out on the market. So let's talk about that. Might as well give you guys a little bit of figures when it comes to these numbers. Let me know how you feel in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're looking to purchase one of these, guys. If you're looking to join the supermoto world like how I am, guys, I've been in the market for a bike like this for a very long time. For some of you that knows my story, initially when I bought my Ducati Hypermotard SP, I initially went out to buy a Yamaha 250 or 450 to join my collection. It ended up working out where I grabbed another Ducati, and it looks like the same thing is happening again over here. So super excited to give you guys a lowdown on this bike, how it performs, how it feels, and what it feels like for you to buy an out the box Sumo from Ducati. You're going to hit the limiter at 10,250 RPMs. That is completely unheard of with a single cylinder motorcycle. All your change is going to be at every 9,000 miles. If you wish, you'll be able to do it in that manner. But we all know most people are going to change their oil around 3,000 or 2,500 miles. The Desmo valve service is going to be at every 18,000 miles. That is impressive and incredible in itself, because we all know supermotos or conversion of supermotos tend to blow up often because people keep the front wheel up. They abuse them quite a bit. And for Ducati to have an engine that's willing to take the amount of beating or constant use all the way up to 18,000 before we have a Desmo valve service, that's going to be incredible. It has a 116 millimeter racing piston, titanium intake valves, 659 cc's with aluminum cylinder barrel instead of steel. This is very impressive and exciting for our industry. And I'm sure most people are going to be a little bit on the fence since this is first generation, but I think what they're doing is new. It's different. It's exciting. We all are excited to get our hands on the bike, or I'd say holding our breath to make sure that everything goes well. I know there are controversies in terms of buying brand new bikes that are first generation where things might go wrong, but again, guys, someone has to do it. Someone has to take the stand. Someone has to make these giant leaps to move the industry forward, and someone like me should be on that bike moving forward with it. Let's keep it moving, guys. Other cool things that we want to look at, guys, the alternator, clutch, and head covers are all made out of magnesium alloy. That is not a common thing that you're going to see on a supermoto or pretty much a beater bike like a supermoto, a dirt bike or something to that nature. So Ducati again putting some premium footprint onto a platform like this by going above and beyond. All right. So many other goodies for us to cover about this motorcycle, guys. 45mm Marzocchi upside down forks that are fully adjustable, 330mm disc brakes with Brembo calipers, M4 Brembo calipers. These are some extremely premium parts that you see on high-end Ducatis and not as common on a bike as a supermoto. The bike does come with a steel tube trellis frame, something that we know and love about Ducati, coming from a Ducati Monster, and a couple of other lines like Scrambler and stuff like that tend to have trellis frames, and we pretty much love those when we're talking about Ducati, guys. We have cast aluminum double-sided swing arm in the rear. That's not something that's super common with Ducati. We all love single-sided swing arm. However, in this case, it looks like it's going to be practical when we're talking about a supermoto. So excited to see that and excited to see how well it performs. The motto of this bike, guys, is live, play, ride. So that means it's all about fun, not taking it too seriously. And you guys know the deal for me. I'm excited to have a bike like this. I've been wanting something like this as part of my stable, something that I could ride out in the snow, in the rain, all weather. It doesn't matter, something that I'm just gonna have fun with and not worry too much about dings and dents, scratch and stuff like that. I'm excited for this bike for 2024, and I think I'm not the only one. This bike seems to be the talk of the town, coming out of EICMA, coming out of the internet, YouTube. Everyone's blowing up, very excited to see Ducati joining the sumo world, and I am as well. And to be honest, one of my hiccup about this bike, I thought it was going to be a different name, different branding outside of the Hypermotard, keeping the Hypermotard moniker as the 950 SP, you know. But I understand why Ducati did that. The Hypermotard already has a branding, has a name for itself. People love that styling of the bike, and I'm assuming they know that they're going to sell more models with the branding and the name Hypermotard behind it. I mean, let's see how it does, guys. As of now, styling cues for this bike is impressive. Of course, it's a Ducati. They tend to do really well when we're talking about styling cues. We have LED headlights with double C side daytime running lights, guys. We're talking about a C on left or right. It could be like brackets, 2 brackets, I'd say. Also, the rear brake lights tend to share similar design cues where it's like a C or 2 brackets left and right for the rear brake light. The bike overall itself seems really special, very unique. A few things that we could cover on this video, guys, that people are not talking about. This bike is going to be tall. So just a quick heads up, if you're someone that's vertically challenged or suffer from the height disease, this bike's going to be tall. So make sure you get yourself the lowering seat. That's going to be able to help a lot. If you guys are accustomed to riding a Hypermotard SP or Hypermotard 950, 939 SP, either one of those iterations, you guys are well aware of how high the bike is. This Sumo is going to be slightly higher than those bikes. I'm assuming the reason why this bike's going to be a tad bit higher, it's going to be because of the give that you're going to have when you actually sit on the bike. The front forks and the rear shock is going to compress. That's what I'm guessing, but we're going to hold our breath and see how that works once we actually get on the saddle and giving that bike a shot. Height is definitely something we want to talk about. Lowering seat, you might want to consider that. If not, if you're a seasoned rider, you know what you're doing, I think you should just be fine. Other things that are really special about this bike, they do offer a Terminioni exhaust with an up map, which is really cool. It's going to give you added horsepower to the bike, but one of the better part of that deal is going to be a wheelie assist. This bike is not just the base model style where you're going to get to ride the bike and use it as a supermoto. It can actually train you to be a better supermoto rider, where you could learn how to slide the back out of the bike, where you could learn how to wheelie where it won't loop. In that case, you would have to pay extra for you to get those features, but if you're someone that already knows how to wheelie, that already knows how to ride the bike in that nature, there's no point in adding those features to the bike. You can do it yourself. I'm also very excited to see what SE Project does in terms of an exhaust system. And you guys know the deal. Most of my bike tend to have SE Project. I'm not sure I'd be going with the Termi system. It's been a couple of years since I've ridden with Termis on my bike. And from what I can tell, what they're showing to the public, it's Euro 5 compliant. So that means it's not going to be as loud or as pronounced, but that's the Termi system. I am extremely ecstatic to see what the aftermarket industry produced for this motorcycle. Again, it's a Ducati, so they're gonna have a bit of a following. They're gonna have a bit of a demand for it. I know Evotech Performance already has a pre-selected section on their site, even though they don't have any parts being listed yet. MotivationUSA.com, where I get all my parts. You guys hit the link in the description. Show love and support. They already have a predetermined section on their site for those things. So very excited to see exactly what happens with this motorcycle, how it ends up doing long term, even after the first iteration being released. Where do they go from there? Do they increase horsepower? Do they increase the CCs? Do they go the opposite direction, making it even lighter and making it more powerful? You know, we could only hold our breath to see what happens down the line, but all I know is it is an exciting time to be a rider. It's an exciting time for you to be in the market for a motorcycle, because competition is always great for everybody. KTM, Husqvarna, Gas, Ducati, if they all gonna start competing for the same market, that means we win. I'm thrilled to actually see this bike and see it in the flesh, and so far so good. Everyone that's seen it in EICMA, people that's seen it face to face, everyone's pretty much ecstatic of what Ducati's doing and thrilled to actually get their hands on it. Let's hope for the best. 2024 is going to be dope. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy some of the content we're going to be bringing here on 2024. And maybe we'll get our hands on one of those 2024 Ducati Hypermotard 698 Mono RVEs. Wink, wink. Catch you guys later. Peace.